welcome to Campaign 2 of the Roll Initiative. We are the Roll Initiative. My name is Foster, the DM for this campaign. We also, in order here, have Evan, Ryan, Ivy, Parker, Zach, Theo, and Riley. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. So we will introduce our characters as we meet them all in story. If anybody is watching this, I hope you continue to stick with us. This should be a good time. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Up first, Morgan.
Every time.
You
We
joined
find-
40 sessions in last time.
And he went first, damn it.
Any other time is.
Morgan, we find you in the middle of a mission. You, Balas, Tanzi, and Zircon are just absolutely sprinting through tunnels underground, trying to find your way to your destination. As you're sprinting and thinking about this, first of all, could you please describe what your character looks like?
Morgan is wearing a hooded cloak, so that doesn't matter. He's got olive skin with the deepest amber eyes. I forgot my own character's color traits. And gold blonde hair. And he's a very young whippersnapper of an elf.
I love it. Okay. As you, yeah, if you have a question.
I was just going to ask what kind of elf you were, if you were willing to share.
Young whippersnapper of an elf.
Okay. Good enough. Sorry.
I bet you drop shot kids in Call of Duty. Freaking hate you.
You're going through all these tunnels, and you come to a fork in the road with 4 different tunnels. What would you like to do here?
As I'm on a mission, and I know thieves can't because of the person in our group, we start doing these little hand signals, and Morgan sends one in each direction.
Gotcha. They all split up. Which number are you going to go down?
3.
Okay. You head down number 3. Could you please, where's your sheet? Let me get that up here. Morgan. Could you please roll me either investigation or perception, whichever you prefer? The 6. With a 6, you keep going down this tunnel, and there is just darkness and twists and turns, little creatures jumping around everywhere. You see like cats and rabbits and foxes and monkeys, specifically very clever sort of animals, as far as folklore would say. You continue down, and then you meet back at a convergence in the road with 4 tunnels, and you see your members come back out. Zircon looks at you and says, "Okay, boss, they don't know about this place, but it seems to be a kind of a loop. What do you recommend we do?"
Morgan thinks for a minute and goes, What did you see in each tunnel?
Well, to me, it was a very long tunnel. Just goes a long time, and with lots of running, and there's be animals all around. And then I came back, and everybody is here again. You see, Tanzi says, "Yeah, pretty much the same thing that he just said. Actually, as not really much to describe other than that." And Balas looks at you and is just like, looks around to the others and then just kind of nods in agreement. Kind of a quiet man himself. But you realize that everybody has had pretty much the same experience that you just had.
I want to do another investigation check of this
Please
little
do.
convergence. I have advantage on my rolls. Should I use it or not?
If you do, by all means, what do you get advantage from?
Something. That's one of my
Nice.
things from my character.
Okay,
Cheat.
sure. Go ahead and give me with advantage. That's fine.
I don't know where I got it, but I got it. I can't see him. What did I get? I got a 9.
With a 9, you
Shit.
don't immediately glean any information from this.
Does my
but
friends
you-
also investigate?
You can see they are all at your level of skill, which is normally great. Unfortunately, down here, where the tricksters lie, you are having a little trouble navigating through this. But it's not long after that time that you do hear a larger sort of skittering behind you. And you turn around and you see a very large squirrel.
Okay.
Do you interact with this squirrel at all?
Um. Hold on. Sure. I try to get closer.
Okay. Could you make me make me an animal handling check, please?
Oh god, this is gonna be bad. Yep. 8.
What do you actually do as you approach here?
I'm not doing anything. I was just gonna get closer to it to see what it would do.
Are you like holding out a hand to it at all, or just like kind of approaching, or getting low? What's the move?
A little bit of a getting low.
Okay, like trying to beckon a cat on the road, like come
Something.
here, let it go.
It's big, but I'm trying not to act.
Like a cat on your roof.
Yeah, whatever.
By a big squirrel, I want to clarify.
talking
It's
like a
about
really
2 feet
chunk-
tall.
Oh, okay. Then yeah,
It's not
I'm gonna
massive.
do a
it's
squatty
just
boy.
for
Yeah.
a squirrel.
When you
It's not-
say giant squirrel, I'm thinking of a 7-foot squirrel with
no, no, no.
400
Greedent.
pounds.
The
It's just a
Pokemon.
rather
Yeah.
large squirrel.
Yeah.
But as you approach, he does back off, but you actually hear him say, "But careful now, lad. I don't like to be touched. You're all strangers here, aren't you?"
I look at everybody else and confused. Looking for the. I think that's what. Yes,
What?
I said looking for the queen.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, it didn't come through. Oh, you mean to find Queen Pius? Well, very well. Good to meet your acquaintance. My name is Alabaster, the Tinker Master down here. But I can show you the way. You won't find it through any of these four, unfortunately. He moves to the center of the room and moves a paw across the center of the ground, and a hole, like cartoonishly, opens up, like a giant rabbit hole in the middle of the ground. It doesn't feel like he's molding the earth. It feels like it is just stretching apart and almost bending the reality around it. Follow me. We'll get there in due time. And he like fully swan dives down this hole.
I pushed 2 people in front of me first before I go in.
Which two?
Ballas and I don't know the other one. I can't remember his name now. I wrote it down.
You've got
Zircon.
Zircon and I have to get all the way back down to the bottom of my notes now.
Just Zircon. Just
Okay,
send Zircon down there.
Chris Zircon.
Ballas and Zircon.
Tanzi is the other.
Tanzi.
As Ballas goes, again, he doesn't really say anything to you, but he does fold his feathers back on his hands to flip you off as he falls. And then Zircon goes down and says, "This is not what I expected today, okay?" And you hear him like slowly get quieter as he falls away.
I want. Never mind. I'm gonna follow, and so is.
Sounds
friend.
good. Are you? This is an important question. Are you going to go down feet first or head first?
Feet.
Okay. You
like that question.
you jump down feet first, and as you start falling, gravity swaps on you, and you start going straight up, head first towards the ceiling. I'm gonna need a acrobatics check to turn yourself around in the air. We're gonna call this just a DC 10.
How's that? 21.
Absolutely. You, as you go down to the bottom of this hole, it feels like you hit the center of the earth and you switch around and start flying back up. But thankfully, you are nimble enough to turn yourself around and you land on your feet, which you would normally feel sort of upside down. You do feel a little disoriented, but after a second, you realize everything does look right side up and feel. It doesn't feel like you're hanging, like you're on gravity. But right ahead of you, you do see a giant gilded door. Alabaster looks to all of you and says, "Well, this is the spot. If you need anything else, don't." And he jumps down a hole and escapes.
I go to knock on the door, or push it open if I can.
Sure. With the first knock, you don't get any response. But yeah, if you can absolutely try to push this thing open.
I want to wait a
would-
second before I push the door open.
Sure. Yeah, after you knock, there's no sound from the other side of the
Okay.
door.
Cool. I will try to open the door now with the help
fantastic.
of my friends.
It is not locked. So the four of you, it is a very large door, but the four of you are able to get this thing pulled open. This room is very disorienting. It is the queen of tricksters' throne room, and it feels like it. Like every single pathway is an optical illusion that makes you feel like you're gonna fall over. Spirals happening everywhere, clocks ticking left and right. Like it's all trying to hypnotize you at all times. If you could give me survival now, real quick. I know I'm making you roll a lot, but if you give me just survival for the fun of it.
For the fun of it.
Just for the hell of it, but
That's a nat 20 plus 3. Look, the leader of the scourge he knows what he's doing. Is not going to be tricked here. Not after those tunnels. You manage to make your way through the room. You notice it is outside of the trinkets in here. There are no people. It's empty. But you make your way all the way to the throne, where you find a note. On this note, it reads, "Gone to save my soul, signed L."
signed L.
Yep, just signed L. We're gonna cut from there real quick. Up next, Ebenezer. We find Ebenezer in his shop, Potions and Lotions. Let me. This is like at the end of the day. So, your front desk attendant has gone home, and it's just sort of your family is there still, just kind of hanging out. Your grandson is here as well as your son. Would you have Lizard with you, or would he be playing with Cassidy?
He'll be playing with Cassidy at this time, sure.
Gotcha. So what you're seeing currently is just Cassidy's face, just lighting up, loving playing with Lizard. He is, only when you check in, because you don't have to be connected to him when you send him on off. But they're just having a great time playing with a little ball, watching this tiny little weasel trying to scramble after this little ball is just hilarious, and you always get a kick out of it. But you sit in the front room, and as you're sitting there, could you describe your character for us, please?
Yeah, sure. He's Ebenezer is an old fellow. He's in his 70s somewhere. I can't remember the exact age I placed him. But he, just your stout, average, happy-go-lucky old man. He is blind and deaf, and he uses Lizard to do both of those things in his place. And he's got robes on, velvety bluish robes. He has a hat, but he's not wearing it right now. It could be on the counter. Yeah, his shoes are like cloth, so he's not actually like wearing like any sort of any sort of like meaningful shoe wear. He's just got like socks on, essentially.
Gotcha.
Rocks.
So you hear through Lizard, just a little bit out the front. You hear just the thuds of steps coming down from attic stairs, like some creaks and some dum 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 and rattles of bottles. A little whistle from who you certainly recognize to be your son. I'm sorry, I got it wrong last time. Jackie is your grandson, is that right? Okay, so Liz
I
is
wasn't
playing
sure
with
when
Jackie.
I wasn't sure. When to say something.
Cassidy comes down the stairs from the attic carrying a box of potion bottles for you. You hear a whistle from Cassidy, and shortly after, feel Lizard hop on your shoulders. Would you go ahead and connect with him?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
for sure.
So you can now see and hear as you need to, and your son looks at you and says, "Well, that's the last box you asked for. Thanks again for dinner, Dad. Unless you need anything else, I'm gonna go head back on to the inn and check on the missus. Everything good here?"
Everything is just fine here. Thank you. Thank you to you both for your assistance this evening.
Sounds good, yeah. And at that point, Jackie comes out of the back storeroom and he comes up to you. Grandpa, look at what I made for Lizard. And he shows you a tiny scarf that he has crafted for your weasel.
Oh my goodness! This is just the most precious thing. Thank you, Jackie. Here, I have a little something for you as well.
Ooh, a present?
Ebenezer will turn around and grab a potion from underneath his countertop there, and he'll hand it to Jackie.
Cassidy intercepts and is like, hold on, Dad, what does this do? I'm gonna have to deal with the consequences of this.
It's nothing, son. Here, take this. Take it.
Jackie, go wait in the cart. I'll be right up.
Delicious chocolate. It tastes like chocolate.
Is this gonna be keeping him up?
It's not going to keep him up. No, it's not. It's a sleeping potion. It's sleepy potion.
Okay, you know what? We can use a little sleepy potion, maybe. Thank you. Thanks for letting him play in the back. Yeah.
Yes, you
we'll
guys be safe walking through the city.
They both exit, and you hear the door, the bell on the door chime as they leave. And not long after, as you are just sorting the bottles that he's brought down, the door opens again. You see a tabaxi wizard enter. You would recognize this man as Flugen. He comes in here all the time. He goes, "Oh, geez, is the event still on for tonight?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Fantastic. I'll be downstairs. I'll see you soon.
See you down there.
And he goes through the back room. Not long after. Then again, the door opens up. In walks a gnomish man that you'd recognize as Opie Dobie. And he goes, Ebenezer, we're still doing the thing?
Opie Dobie, we sure are.
Fantastic. I've gotten money on Flugen tonight. Okay.
Me too.
He walks on down. Next, the door chimes off again, and a man enters that you don't recognize. This man is hooded in a green hood and rather slender. The first thing you notice is he's holding a large purple lantern, and his eyes kind of glow an iridescent pink. And he looks right at you, and he goes, Ebenezer?
Yes, how can I help you?
Good to meet you. I was sent here to find you by my bosses. It's of utmost importance that they speak to you. They understand you're looking for answers. and what they think they can provide those answers. And I must insist you come with me.
Oh, I'm not sure what you quite mean, young man.
My employers are quite perceptive when they'd like to be. They know a long time ago something went horribly wrong. They know you're curious, and they can sate that curiosity.
Does it have to be tonight?
I'm afraid it is of some urgent time frame, yes.
Can I Arcana check this man?
By all means, yeah. Give me Arcana, or if you'd like, you can give me Insight. Either one.
21.
Sick. With a 21, you do recognize powerful ancestral magic, specifically from the lantern, but you can tell it also does exist on him. This man has a sort of power like elves are descended from, but much more potent.
Do we have to go far?
That's a complicated question. You won't have to move very far at all.
I suppose I'll play your little game for only a moment.
A moment might be all we need. He touches your shoulder, and you see the lantern flash incredibly bright. We'll move on from there to a small research facility in Bogstaff. Here we find two of our characters, Kaelinor and Vesper. How about Kaelinor first? Would you please describe your character?
Sure. Kaelinor is a about 300-year-old high elf. Got the stereotypical blonde hair, like the platinum blonde. His eyes are like a very deep blue. He's got. I've kind of imagined it as like the wizard equivalent of the Clone Wars era Jedi robes. It's like he's got wizard robes on, but kind of like little bits of leather clothing over top of it that kind of keeps it from being as flowy and more of a uniform and clothing than a flowy robe. Chest piece with that like kind of stretches over to left shoulder pauldron. Gauntlets. The one on his left hand has a cobalt gem in it that is his spell catalyst in the palm. And leather boots, like most of the way up his calves. And then he's got a sword hilt on his hip that has like is just a hilt as a clips hilt. Yeah.
Fantastic. Vesper.
Sick.
Yeah. Vesper is a mid-30s Asimar. So he's appearing slightly younger than that in like human years. He's about 5'10-ish. He has very dark, kind of moppy black gray hair, with a big white patch on one side. His eyes are very pale, almost glowing bright in certain lights. He's wearing kind of like a school-ish uniform. At one point, you would have considered these to be tailored pants and a top and this like scarf shawl thing. But it kind of looks like somebody who works in the same uniform and has been wearing it every day they've been to work for like 10 years. It's kind of beat up. The bottom of his
Little
pants are
weathered.
kind of torn. The folds in his shirt look like they've been the same folds for months, maybe. He's not wearing too much adventure gear right now. He's got little like a bag with sort of bits and bobs in it. His hair is like an absolute moppy mess. Yeah.
Fantastic. We find you both here a couple of days post an apparent accident based on shards of glass and splintered wood that are still yet to be cleaned in this research lab. We find you guys both probably trying to clean things up a little bit and make it less obvious what may have happened here. But in the midst of this, you are visited by another gnome named Dwyline Depelno, which you would both recognize as the religion teacher here. She's teaches cleric magics. She comes in and goes, Dean Wongiver has heard of your little misuse of a property, and she's not happy. But your poor souls will probably be judged properly tomorrow. Don't let me judge you both, all right? How are you, sweethearts, holding up?
Not great.
Oh well. Yeah, you hate to hear it, I suppose, but some people, I guess, have their own prerogative on that. Anyhow, I just thought I'd drop by and let you know the news. I wouldn't expect it to. You have to wait for a meeting until probably tomorrow morning, but just wanted to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be. Yes. Anyhow, I will see you all when I see you. And she walks out the room. You two are left here after that strange interaction. Do you say anything to one another?
Who was that?
That's the religion teacher, the cleric. Oh, in character, gotcha.
Who was that?
That is the religion teacher. And
Yeah.
I know their name. Dwyline?
Twilight.
Oh,
Dwyline?
she seemed upset.
Yeah. Yeah. Caleb scratches.
At this time, Kaelinor, you feel a bit of pain in one of your arms. Could I have you roll me a Constitution check, please? DC 15.
That's tough.
And it
Saving
begins.
throw. Saving throw.
Saving throw?
Yes.
Are you okay if I roll a physical dice? I got a dice set just for this character.
That's cool. I trust
Looks
all
mid.
y'all's honesty.
17 plus 1.
18. Okay. Yeah, that passes.
I don't like
You don't immediately need to attend it. So you just kind of feel that pain for just a second. And then it does pass. If I could get perception from Vesper, however.
You may.
I see pop up, was it?
19.
Fantastic. Let me ask, Kaelinor, would you have been trying to hide any sort of pain?
Most definitely.
Okay, roll me stealth against that for a second.
Stealth?
Yep.
Ooh, I have proficiency in stealth. That is a +5. I rolled a 13, 18. Damn.
So Vesper probably clocks it. Would he say anything about it?
What do I see? Like, what happens?
Kaelinor, describe how he would react probably in this moment.
Kind of hold the respective arm out, and kind of like my arm would kind of tense and look down for a second, and then I would release. Like kind of like clenching a fist.
Sweeping up glass, trying not to bring too much attention to it. I'm gonna say, we're gonna get that figured out. I'm sure it's nothing. And then I'll set the broom down and open up the pouch and hold this weird looking rack and be like, yeah, we're gonna figure that out. It's gonna be okay.
Certain we'll
dustpan.
figure it out. Certain we'll figure it out. I'm not so certain it's not a big deal.
Oh, I'm not that worried about it, really.
Around that time, a man enters the doorframe of your research facility. This is not a man that either of you recognize, but he is a thin man wearing a green cloak, and he's got a bright purple lantern in his hand. His eyes sort of glow an iridescent pink. And he looks out to both of you, says nothing for long enough that it's awkward, and then goes, Kaelinor and Vesper?
Hello.
Great.
Nod.
I found you. Good to meet you.
Were we playing hide and
So-
seek?
It's a good one. No. Well, it's good to meet you both. My bosses would like to meet the both of you. They understand there's a certain affliction that needs cured, and that you might be the cause of such an affliction.
Oh yeah, we really fucked up that guy's arm.
Well, yeah. So, well, anyway, my bosses think that they can help, but they need just a little bit of help first. And it is of utmost importance that they can speak with you. I must insist that you come with me.
Side eye Vesper.
Oh well, I don't know. I guess we have a meeting tomorrow. How long will
I suppose that depends on how cooperative everybody is and how, if they're in a good mood. They might not be right now, but they're not bad. They're not bad. They're just a little grumpy.
insight check?
Yeah, go ahead.
Vesper doesn't like that. Vesper doesn't know any different though. He's looking at this guy's shoes. He's like, where the fuck did he get those shoes from? What are they? What brand shoes are those?
Buddy Does.
Wow. Huh.
Oh yeah, they were thrifted. Oh, thanks.
Oh, they're ugly.
Well, yeah. All right. I will
was
never
that
forget
employer?
that moment. Well, they would like to sort of meet you in person and let you know all about themselves, if that'd be all right. But I can take them to you immediately. From what I understand, or what they understand, I should say, tomorrow's meeting won't be pleasant.
Where are we going?
Well, we're going sort of within this, but sort of elsewhere.
That's not an answer.
It's hard to describe if you haven't been there, and I don't think you would know about it, but it's another plane, so to speak.
So I should bring a coat.
I would bring whatever belongings you might want to keep on you. Yeah,
Oh.
coat would be good. Yeah.
Wow. Can I bring this rock?
I don't see why not. That's
Okay, great.
totally
We'll-
fine.
We'll go. Well,
Okay,
I'll
great.
go. I don't know.
You, Mr.
Do you want to go
Kaelinor, sir?
inside the lantern?
Can't say that I do.
Yeah, you're a little tall for that. Squat for a second.
Taylor just shake his head.
No, squat down, really. And he begins to like, it could happen. Using merely perspective to measure you against the lantern that he's moving closer toward. Yeah, it's about the same.
Sigh and approach.
Okay, fantastic. Hold on. And he reaches his hand, his left arm out to one of you and says, if you could just grab him for me, that'd be great. I gotta
Hey,
hold the...
logistically, I need to get my coat.
Is it not in here with you?
No.
Okay. He says, do you need just a minute to grab that? We can wait.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Great. Actually, so as you leave, you make your way through large stone halls, art everywhere. If you ever seen a Harry Potter movie, imagine that, but less homophobic. And you
It's
just
art, Harry.
you just make your way through these halls. And where would you have kept your coat? Is this in your in the greenhouse or in your lodging?
Um, Probably in the back sort of corner of this greenhouse. There's cabinets, and if you imagine just taking out like a bunch of kitchens from the 70s, cabinets and countertops and stuff, and just piling them into a corner, like not hung very well. A bunch of cabinets like that, and random little bits that belong to me are tucked in there. So I'll get a lot more stuff than what I was wearing.
Gotcha. As you enter the greenhouse, could you please make me perception with advantage?
Oh, shit. Sure.
With a 21, you do see a snapmaw plant has grown a little too large above your door frame, but you notice it in time and are able to sort of duck out of the way of its jaws as it tries to bite you on the way through.
Son of a Snappy, no. No, we'll talk about that later. Shut up.
It, like clearly gets sad and walks, or not doesn't walk, but like turns his little
I told
bulby
you,
head to the other
only
side.
bite the bad students. We'll work on that.
But you are able to grab any things that you would like from here.
Yeah,
Anything
sporadically
in
I
particular you'd like to note?
gather, well, I more than looking like a wimpy little nerd teacher, I get a coat and this big bag and this really long bag and a couple things and sling them over my shoulder and put on this much longer, bigger scarf thing. And I rush back trying to avoid this plant, and I'm like, did I forget anything? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll be back tomorrow. And I leave.
Fantastic. You make your way back to this stranger in Kalenor. And once you do, he looks to you both and says, well, are you ready?
Stares blankly.
Yes.
I'm going to cautiously take that as a yes, and thank you for your upfrontness.
Still take it cautiously.
He reaches out to Kalenor and asks, if you grab him again. Yeah, like I said, I gotta hold the lantern here, so just kind of connect to the loop, if you would.
I grab Vesper. Is that? Ooh,
Yeah, please.
sure.
Okay, great, thank you. And then there's a flash of blinding purple light, and we're gonna cut from you guys here. Maeve, we find you venturing through a cave. You've been told recently from somebody in a town that there might be a relic here that can help you, and you're doing whatever you can to find it. What does Maeve look like? Could you please describe Maeve for us?
Yeah. So she's like 5'9", super scrawny, has like messy, short, dark hair, pale skin. She has like a Shire get up on, like Bilbo's outfit, but like more torn up, and shoes. And a lot of stuff like bandages on. Clearly not in the best health.
Makes sense. I love it. Okay. You make your way through this cave. It has mostly seeming like a straight shot until it opens up into a larger sort of den. Could I get you to please roll me a perception check?
Don't fuck it up.
I'm gonna. Never mind.
Nat
Not.
fucking 20 first.
Is this the
roll
first one?
of the game?
Yeah.
Let's go.
There's a
Parker did,
second
but
one?
Her on her first roll, nat 20. That's pretty good.
We're rolling high so
That's-
far.
We love
That's
it.
2 so far.
How low?
We love
I
good
rolled
rolls.
2 3s.
Wait until combat, guys.
But you also nat 20. Okay.
Wow.
You see, strangely not a pack, but a single winter wolf, large beast of a creature, sleeping next to a chest. What would you like to do in this situation?
Hmm. Well, I would probably too confidently kind of walk over there to try to like see what this wolf is about. Just
Okay.
get closer, like slowly.
With that nat 20, I will let you know as you approach. You see its ears sort of twitching as it, even in its sleep, is sort of recognizing your approach.
Okay. How close to the chest? Like on it or
It's like laying against it, yeah.
right? Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know. I'll probably just keep walking towards the chest slowly. See what
All right.
happens.
This wolf, as you get closer, his nose start twitching too and smelling the approach of a predator, or it believes so anyhow. And it, as its eyes open and it sees you, it immediately jolts to its feet, backing up, and it snarls as its tail goes down and it widens its stance. What do you do
Okay.
in this situation?
I'd like to imagine I'd have some sort of a little bit of food, probably not like good food because I've been out and about for a while. A little bit in my bag, and I'd probably pull it out and be like, "Hey, good puppy."
Give me animal handling, please.
All right. Oh,
Oh
Yin and
no!
oh no.
Well, I was hoping that would go well.
6-person campaign.
Well, in that case, Ivy alone, please roll me initiative.
God damn it. Okay. That's fine. No.
Where am I?
You haven't rolled anything yet?
No, not a single thing.
Somehow scarier.
I'm sweating.
What'd you
Yeah,
get?
this is easy.
12? Okay.
Whoa.
I'm gonna go refresh my drink, but I have my headphones on and listening.
It sees this this food in your hand. It is not cautious about it at all. It wants it, but it also wants to eat you. So it just lunges at your full hand. It's going to go for a bite attack.
Okay.
Let's see here. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
Then you are going to take 10 points of damage immediately from that.
Cool.
And then you are up. What do you do?
Don't really know if I want to fight this guy.
That is a perfectly reasonable option.
I will. Hold on. Let me look at this. Yeah, I'll just turn into. I'm gonna wild shape.
Okay.
Except I'm just gonna turn into like a just a little guy, like a skunk or something, perhaps, and just fucking book it.
Fantastic. Go ahead and give me athletics with advantage, if you would.
Okay, I have a -1, and that's great. Advantage.
Would you roll that off of a skunk sheet? Is there a skunk sheet in D&D?
That's a good question. Is
There
there a
might-
skunk sheet?
Well, let me look. I don't have it in my notes.
Let's see.
Can you hear the keyboard? Skunk. Yeah,
There is not an
is.
official one. The first one I has a -4 to strength, so I think you would prefer your 9 there. Let me go ahead and roll athletics with this wolf here.
Oh God.
Okay. Shouldn't have picked a
This
skunk.
wolf nat 1. So,
Ew.
Fart in his
you
face.
see, this skunk just skittering away from a wolf as it lunges again, but just misses, and you can see it like twists its ankle as it lands wrong on the lunge and just goes and then like falls over,
Hmm.
and is just laying there with like looking at its paw. Would you, given that opportunity, try to turn back in, or would you just escape as skunk?
I do want that chest. Huh. Well, I have another wild shape, so I'll turn back and try to get the chest.
Okay, are you staying as a skunk, or are you
Well, a
transforming back? Is that what
skunk
you're saying?
probably couldn't open a chest, so I'll transform back. Yeah,
Word. Okay.
see if I can pick it up.
This wolf sees you transform back into the person, and you can see a visible confusion on that wolf's face. Like he's trying to like head tilted, trying to comprehend what the hell is happening here. But injured, it doesn't get up as you continue forward. As you approach the chest, could you please give me a extra perception check here?
Dude,
Mhm.
Maeve just broke that wolf's ankles.
Fucking a second
out.
nat 20.
Let's
on
Dude!
perception. We love it.
I'm perceiving
All
a
Wow. What the
As you, with your back turned to the front of the cave, approaching this chest, you do notice ever so slightly little reflections of purple light on the shiny parts of rocks approaching from behind you. Do you react to that at all?
How close am I to the chest?
You're probably 10 feet away. Not very far.
Okay.
You can walk up to it easy.
Can I like grab it and then turn around to see
Sure.
what that is?
Yeah, you can.
I want the
run up to
chest.
it. It's
first.
kind of like a trunk. I don't know if you'd be able to like lift it easily,
Oh,
but you can
okay.
get to it if you'd like.
Okay. Then I'll run over to it and then turn around. Like,
Gotcha.
You could open Zelda style.
whoa, ching, kick it.
Yeah, but as you get to the chest, you kind of duck behind it, and you see coming around the corner in this tunnel is a skinny elf in a green hood. He's got iridescent eyes, and he's holding a glowing purple lantern. He walks up through the cave and says, "Well, this is probably the worst one yet. Is he gonna be a problem?" And he points at the wolf.
Not this second.
Okay, great. Are you Maeve?
Maybe. Who are you?
Well, I'm sort of an ambassador. My boss has sent me looking for you. They understand you have a bit of a problem, and well, you can check, but I don't think that chest is going to be the solution.
Okay. Who's your boss?
They would like to introduce themselves if they can. They are sort of powerful benefactors that believe they can fix your problem for you.
Okay. Where's your boss?
Everyone's so inquisitive. It's fair. It's fair. They are not on this plane. Probably a place you're not familiar with, though their magics you might be. Another plane of existence. I can show you rather quickly. But they need a little bit of help, and they need it kind of urgently. I need to insist that you come with me.
Okay. You want to help me open this chest first?
Yeah, I mean, by all means.
And I'll start like shaking it.
He walks up, and you see him place his hand down by the lock, and he casts knock on the lock, and it just pops right open.
Bars?
Cool.
As you open this chest, you see a worn spot in the center where it looks like there was something preventing sun damage in that spot, but it is empty. You can tell something was here, but it's been taken.
I'll say,
They-
man, Tough luck. Let's talk outside the cave though, because I don't know when this guy's gonna get up.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Good
And then
point.
I'll just
Let's go.
run away from him.
You both get outside, and you come back out into the daylight. You can tell that like the sun is actually just sort of starting to rise. You've probably been doing this adventure out at night, where less people are going to get involved. And he looks at you and says, "Well, I can take you to see them. All we have to do is kind of go in this," and he points at a sign to it.
I'll say, okay, I'll go. But this better not be a trick, because I know like karate and stuff. And then I'll like kind of do like a, but I'll slip a bit. And I'm like trying to brush it off and be like, yeah.
Well, I'm personally very frightened, so yeah, no tricks here. And just come with me, and he holds his hand out to you. Great. There's a blinding flash of purple light, and then we're gonna cut from here. Up next, Kinfath. Kinfath, actually, I'm going to ask you, where would we find you on your journey?
Deep.
Kinfath would be standing in a grove, very serene. Lots of wildlife around. And he would be studying a butterfly very intently.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and give me. I'm going to make you make a check on this butterfly here.
Okay.
Could you give me, please, a history check on this butterfly?
Man, you didn't choose the one I was good at. I got a 9.
With a 9, you don't know the significance of the butterflies here, but if you could also make me an animal handling check to see if they don't run away.
Yeah, now that's the one I wanted. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Yeah.
Wow.
So you just see this big bugbear of a man holding out his massive finger, like ever so gingerly, and this beautiful sort of orange and red with dark black outlines comes and lands right there on his finger. Just flaps its wings a few times before shutting them, and it just sits incredibly still. With that, could you please describe your character?
Yes, absolutely. So we'll keep this pose of him holding the butterfly. So Kinfath is 6'8". He is a big boy. And unlike
Does the ground tremble?
the ground does not tremble. He's sometimes when I hear the word bugbear, I think of like a shaved, just like hairy being. This is more like more bear than anything else, where he has almost a lion's mane of hair coming up, and it's very flowing, and it's healthy hair. It's not graying in any way. He's relatively young for a bugbear. And he has on a blue long gi. It's kind of similar to a karate gi, and it has it's shaded as a light blue with kind of clouds running along the robe, and he is intentionally, unintentionally giving off a teddy bear type of vibe. That's how I like to think of it.
I love that. Could you, as you sit here studying this butterfly, give me an extra perception check?
Absolutely. 9.
Cool. So you don't notice anybody approach, but after a short time, you hear from behind you, Kinfath?
What? I'll turn around to meet him.
As you turn around, you see a green man, actually, a green hooded man, thin elf guy, sitting cross-legged on the ground, and you see he's got a purple lantern in one hand, and he's got glowing pink eyes, and then in his other hand, he's got a butterfly on his own finger. And he sort of is studying it, and he's like, beautiful creatures, aren't they?
Amazing how this small thing can fly, and yet I cannot.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm more akin to moths myself, but they are all
Moths.
beautiful.
It is pretty, but I'm curious to learn one day if I too am able to fly, or if it is merely a byproduct of the size of this being. For I long to be with the birds one day.
Well, it's possible anybody could learn to fly. I know some humans that learned the trick eventually. I mean, it's kind of magic, but yeah, anyone can learn it.
Hmm. Magic is
Uh,
too confusing for me.
It's it's understandable, but it's not always a bad thing. And he conjures a iridescent moth where the butterfly just was.
Kid Vad will step back and not like I'm gonna fight you prepare, but take a defensive stance.
Oh no, it's
How did you
just-
make that appear?
magic, like we were
What kind of magic?
conjuration mostly.
What does conjuration mean?
It means you make something out of nothing.
I see. Like when I use the restroom then.
Well, that's a good way of starting to look at it. Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway,
it makes
it's,
complete sense now. Yes.
Yes, yeah. So Kinfath, I was sent here to find you by my bosses. They understand you are looking for your destiny, and they believe they have found the path to that destiny.
My destiny. They know of it.
They do absolutely.
This is a wonderful day indeed. Well, where can I meet these people?
Well, you just need to grab my arm, and we'll go there now. It's magic, so you're gonna be
Magic.
transported.
Is
I'll
this
just warn you
the
ahead of time.
same magic as me using the restroom, or a different kind of magic?
It's like, you know how you eat food and then later you use the restroom, and it's like that sort of teleported from one side of your body to the other completely inexplicably?
Occasionally, yes.
Yeah, so it's like that. We're just gonna go somewhere else.
Okay. Okay. And Kinfath will put his arm on wherever it needs to go.
Fantastic. He grabs you. There's a flash of purple light, and you guys vanish away from there. Next, we're going to cut to Ren. Ren, you wake up in a foggy haze. Your ears are ringing and your head is pounding. You look around and you realize you're in a forest, or a clearing of a forest anyhow. It's dark all around you. If not for dark vision, you would not be able to see her at all. You can recognize. Give me a perception check if you would not mind.
Sure.
Oh, do you add nothing to perception? Are you flat? Nice. With an 11, there are many things going on about you that you don't, or around you, I should say, that you don't quite recognize as in depth as maybe you should be, as you normally would. But what you do see is a small grotto of water in the middle of this sort of clearing. What would you like to do?
Does rank get described?
Oh yeah, could you describe Ren for us?
Sure. 370 years old, I think, was the number I landed on. He stands about 6'1", or not about 6'1", 6'1", hovering 200 pounds. Not extremely muscular at all, really, quite slender, but not like skin and bone either. Ren has snow white hair that's just completely like if black is devoid of color, it is the opposite, devoid of color. Off yellow colored eyes, not quite like a cat's eye, but maybe a little darker, I guess. Skin tone is gray. He is adorned in this cascading plate mail looking armor, though it's not plate mail. And it's like got this cascading feature where all the plates are quite well fitted. Looks like it was custom made. Like it doesn't look like something that was maybe just thrown on.
Bespoke.
And across basically his entire visage are these flowers that don't quite look like they're not real. They look real. They look legit. They look as if they're growing off of his armor.
Incredible.
Oh.
With that said, you go ahead.
Also, his right eye is not shut but squinted, and he does have a red scar.
Fantastic. So you do see this small grotto of water in this clearing ahead of you. What would you like to do?
And you said I didn't pick up anything around. Just kind of what I'm seeing is the water.
Yep.
How far away from the water am I?
Probably 10, 15 feet.
I'll walk up.
As you do, the water ripples and the reflection changes from a reflection of the forest to a vision. It looks like you, but significantly younger. And there's a woman standing next to you. You can't quite make out her features. She's kind of blurred in the ripples of the water, and she's flowing in all you can tell. But before much more happens in the vision, she evaporates into petals, and the petals actually rise up from the water out of the vision into reality. They flutter through the air for a moment until they land in front of you and form into the new life of a single dahlia.
I'll take a knee, pluck it, and smell it.
As you do, you hear, Ren. 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 Ren, are you with us? And you snap to reality. You realize that's weird. You never daydream. That's very unlike you. But you look around and you realize you're here at a meeting that you were called to by your bosses. Ahead of you, you see Queen Dahlia and Queen Amethyst sitting together in a room. And about you, you see all of our friends here in a single spot.
We all just appear here.
Very shortly before he stepped out of this, yeah.
Okay.
Can I add one quick detail?
Sure thing.
I've got a swordless hilt on my left.
Motherfucker.
I thought you described having a sword.
He described
I have-
having a swordless hilt.
Yes.
Oh, well. This is going to be weird.
This is gonna be weird.
Oh,
I have stuff now
I
too.
need to add a detail. Yeah, wait, I need to add a detail real quick.
Okay.
I have a staff, a quarter staff that is red and capped with gold at each
Ooh.
end.
Monkey King Bar.
And
Hungrier.
I carry that with me at all. at all times.
Monkey.
And I'm sure about this. Nix the hilt. I can play this off without a hilt perfectly fine. I like the idea
Okay.
of separate identities.
So it's just a normal sword?
I'd prefer it. I didn't know you
Okay.
had one. No sword. You don't see a weapon.
Fantastic. It sounded like Vesper, you wanted to add something as well to your
Yeah,
character?
I look different now. I would have like put on my long thing. I have like a big poofy thing and a long coat behind it, and I have a sword and a cool bow. It's like made out of carved bone or something. It's on my bag too. It's pretty.
Amazing. Um, so everybody here, Morgan and Ren, you would see each other across the room, recognizing each other only from a few chance encounters out in the field. But you've been to this place before. You find yourself in the confluence. The rest of you, you are all in a massive sort of. It would look something like the Congress room in DC. Just huge like stands around the outside and a place for a speaker up front. But it's just massive and it's white marble everywhere. There are a bunch of different colors throughout the room. You see a lot of sort of theming happening in different seating areas. You see trees in a forest in this green section, and you see water flowing down the back in this sort of blue section. You see gems protruding from the chairs in a purple section, and all sorts of different colors here. But up in front of you, you see your two benefactors that have brought you here today. They are massive women. I'm like 40 feet tall, probably. Like
Holy shit.
and you can see the one has a long, glistening purple dress on, and she's slightly shorter than the other. The other one is just similarly to Ren, is adorned in flowers, but just adorned in all sorts of flowers. But in the center of her chest is a massive dahlia. And they look out to all of you, and you hear the shorter queen speak up. It is good to meet all of you. My name is Queen Amethyst. This is Queen Dahlia. Welcome to the Feywilds. I imagine you all have a few different questions, so I'd like to open the floor to you if you have anything you'd like to get off your chest, first of all. Yes, Kinveth.
Yeah. So you say Feywilds. I know of the wilds as I've spent some time there, but what are these Fey that you speak of?
We are Fey. That's a good question, young man. I do appreciate that question. We are the Fey, and we are the queens of our particular Fey courts. We are ancient beings born of beauty itself. Magic incarnate, you might say. Kinpath again, yeah.
It's actually a two-parter this time. We had one of your associates and myself had spoken earlier about different types of magic, and I don't believe that you're of the first kind that we spoke of, but I'm curious of what magic you gain your powers from.
Well, that is a good question. We are born of a sort of melding of all magic in itself, the very primordial essence that is what makes up beauty.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is everyone here as big as you are, or are we going to be interacting with people that are of the same general size as everyone else here?
Well, yeah, not all Fae are the size that I am. In fact, you'll see our lieutenants in secrecy, Ren and Morgan there. And you see those characters sitting beside you. They're Fae of sorts, and they're on their own right. So we are just a bit more powerful, you might say, you know? Dahlia finally speaks up and says, okay, that's enough. Thank you, Kinfath, for the questions. We'll get back with you after we explain a few things. Does anyone else have more sort of pertinent questions to what's going on here before we explain the gist of it.
I feel like I was pretty clear, and so I'm good. Thank you.
How exactly is time moving in this place?
Well, you won't have to worry about missing anything so long as you're here. I can tell you that much. But we perceive things rather differently in our time. I have, in your way of thinking of time, you might say I'm hundreds of thousands of years old. But in our time, I feel, I feel like a young woman.
Very curious.
Curious indeed. Very well. Thank you all for your questions. I'd like to get started with a bit of proceeding here. We have brought you all here out of a sort of urgency. You see, a few years back in your time again, I must say, a mortal was invited here, much like you all were. And he was invited in by Queen Pius, the queen of the trickster court. We'll explain all the court to you later. But he unfortunately has betrayed Queen Pius and stole her lantern and has made off with her to the mortal realm. Now, we'd like to hire you all to find him and bring her back. And normally, we wouldn't send any Fae at all, but I think I can trust Ren here and Morgan as our top advisors in secrecy to become unseen on the mortal realm. Yes? Can I trust you both? Very well. Now, I do understand you all have needs that need met. We are, as I explained before, quite powerful in magic and believe we can solve each of your issues individually. But we must ask that you complete this task first. Are there any objections to such a plan? I'm sure you have many questions, especially the inquisitive Kaelinor.
He's pondering.
Yes, Kinvath.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Fantastic, young man. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes.
Who is it we're like?
His name is Luther Kane.
I'm sorry, could you
You spell it, you said?
Yeah.
Luther, Luther, and last name Kane. Luther Kane.
Glad I asked you that. I heard
You heard loser?
Louver.
Louver, gotcha. She said it like Luther, like very soft TH.
Thank you.
He's a trickster of his own, I must say. But based off his notes, we believe he might be using Queen Pius's power in order to interact with a rather powerful magical artifact. To save his soul, we believe he means to go back in time to before he ever sinned in such a way that he has. I need not explain the things he's done, but I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. Go back into a time before he did it at all and sneak his way into heaven where he does not belong. We ask that you stop him and bring back our friend Queen Pius.
I'm going to take this gem out of my pouch and sit it on the table between us. You can catch this guy.
Besides knowing, or perhaps being able to offer an answer to our questions or concerns, rather, Why us exactly?
Well, in the real dirty of it, you all have sort of needs to be exploited, and I don't want to, it sounds bad when you use the word exploited, but we need mortal help. The Fae are not to be seen on the mortal realm. Last time one of them did, they were tithed to as a Fae ancestor until they had lost every bit of their power, and we just cannot allow it anymore. Yes, Maeve.
One, how do you know my name?
That is a
That
great
is-
question, dear, and,
I would also like to know that.
well,
And-
yes.
And how
It's
did you
Maeve.
even know my problem?
Well, that's also a good question. You see, the essence that we're born from, has a sort of sibling essence, out in the world that allows us to see through both time and space and to know, that it is limited to the Queen's use, of course, but, well, we use it, excuse me, but we use it, in order to look down onto the mortal realm only when necessary. We rather not get involved in such things, but when necessary, we have such powers. Does that answer your question at all?
Yeah. And then she'll kind of like sink down in her seat.
If you have such powers, you have to be able to give us pretty precise information about what you,
Well,
where, what.
we've tracked him to a small town called Zixiv. You may all be familiar. Just a small sort of trading post, but once he went in to the city, we entirely lost sight of him. We believe, and our mistress has expressed concern that he may have a similar such artifact in his hands that allows him to manipulate, as we said, go back in time and prevent his sins as they were. That may be interfering with our visions.
Can I insight these fake gods?
By all means.
Good luck.
What are you trying to incite?
The accuracy of, like, how to phrase it, that they are presenting this guy truth, like that. Does that make sense? Is that clear enough?
Sure. You want to know if they're giving you the whole truth about Luther?
Right.
Sure.
To
Yeah.
him
Go ahead and roll me
specific.
insight.
Oh, that's not. Where's my insight on? 14.
Yeah. Let me with a 14.
Against fake gods.
You don't know these people very well, so you don't have a ton of read on like their normal base personality, as would be great in a sort of a lie detector sort of test. But from just like the expression of concern on their face, you can tell this guy's bad news. They maybe are not giving you the whole truth, but you know he's not a great guy.
Great.
Any other questions from the peanut gallery? Yes, Kinfath again.
On our journey here, are you expecting us to take the life of any person involved in the operation?
Well, you certainly don't have to. That's up to your discretion, so long as you can stop him and get the Queen back. If you wouldn't like to do it, I'm sure Morgan can finish the job for us. Isn't that right, Morgan?
I have a question on the ethicality of really how this whole operation is working, as it seems that we are being tasked with the role of judge, jury, and executioner, and while normally that sort of power is resided upon three or more separate parties that hold different interests that are best for the state, just where is that process? If we bring this Luther in, Will he be tried with proper trial and punished
Enough.
accordingly? I ask only because I do follow a moral code, and taking the life of someone who may not deserve it does not sit right with me in the path I'm choosing to pursue.
Morgan, do you verbally intervene there?
Yeah, I did.
I will withhold if I must.
Amethyst speaks up again. Says, "Thank you, Morgan. I appreciate that, but no, that's a fair point, Kinfath, and very insightful on the sort of socio-economical structure of government for a monk, I must say.
Thank you.
No, you're right, and let me say that if the judge would be proper deities that allow heaven or hell, these judges are being circumvented and not giving them their proper dues by Luther, by him completing his plan. So he would be trying to escape such a judge, jury, and executioner. We are asking you to allow him to be properly judged by those at the pearly gates, if you will.
Understand, and I am still in.
Very well.
Did you say your name was Kinfath?
Yes.
I believe this bugbear has rabies. I don't know if
Who told you that?
we need to be at all concerned. I just heard it. Heard it working one day.
The lies of the people that I choose to ally with. 'Tis unbelievable that they follow me even here, to the Feywilds.
Does that mean you don't have rabies?
Of course I don't have rabies, you small man.
Okay.
Can I attempt to check to see if he has rabies of some sort?
You could do medicine if you'd like.
Fuck.
If you please also give me a Constitution save, Kinfath, and if that is higher than the medicine, you won't know anything at all.
Oh,
I'm doing a constitution.
14 again.
Yeah, Constitution save if you would.
Yeah.
21.
You don't know medically if he's telling the truth. You just have him at his word.
I am mildly suspicious.
I've heard things of you as well, small man.
Me?
Yes, Ebenezer, no. The small wizard, of whom I've heard
You don't have to be so rude.
that you support violence, and that you also host a fighting ring.
Silence, bugbear. This is not your meeting.
Well, I do appreciate that, my boy, but it's a fair thing to do. I suppose you all need a few minutes to acquaint yourselves with one another. When you're done, find us at the back of the room. We have something we must discuss shortly, and then we will send you on your way with whatever supplies you might need. And they excuse themselves and move towards the back of this sort of theater. And you are all left next to one another to hash things out.
There, Kinfath, I didn't mean to insult you. I was just more so
taken as
concerned.
such.
I should let you know that I do not support violence. I'm not that way. I don't know where you would have possibly heard that from.
Well, perhaps you can see the value of the fact that spreading rumors and saying things that you do not know personally is unwise and can create lasting wrong impressions about those that you choose to be around.
I support violence.
While this is happening, can I go over to Morgan and just kind of like standing back as we're watching the group, just be like, sorry, I have to find a name. Shit.
It's a good name.
Well, so look what happens if I maximize this window.
Whoa.
So I'm trying to work off a very small window. So you in a hoga. Does Morgan do anything?
Morgan shakes his head and goes, "Only for fun."
Okay.
Kinfeth, I should.
Never mind. Deep cut. Too deep.
Kinfeth, I should let you know though that I do have an establishment. If you know of any master conjurers, feel free to send them my way.
Yes, conjuration. I happen to know a thing or two about that type of magic.
Do you now?
I do. My understanding is rather.
Please explain. Please explain your knowledge.
My knowledge is rather primitive, although through my own magic experiments, if you will, I have come to learn a very small understanding.
Well, I would love to show you more of the ropes sometime.
I will pass. No, no, thank you.
Jesus.
Okay, okay. Excuse me, gods or whatever.
Well, we're not gods, young man. Yes.
Are we gonna like go back home?
Very sure if you're all ready, but we do have a sort of mortal trinket shopkeeper here that could provide you with the necessary components for such an adventure if you'd like to visit her first.
That's a good idea.
Well, if you insist.
Well, before we go,
I hate to intervene in this group's discussion, but it looks like Kaelinor is trying to say something.
yes,
He is.
Speak
Actually,
up.
he's not trying to say anything. He's trying to do something. He would not participate in this conversation at all, for he would find it absolutely ridiculous. Can I, while they have been having this conversation, have used my cloak to try to find a book on Fey magics?
Yeah, by all means. Could you?
Was that a history check?
Yep,
right?
that'll be history, and we're gonna call this a DC 15.
All right, Cap.
Can't hear you.
That is not good enough.
Gotcha. So like you would know. I will give you with that history of like, you're Elvish, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know elves in long distant past descended from Fey, so you know a bit about their history. But you also know they have been outside of one particular patron that she kind of hinted at before, has been they've been almost entirely absent from the mortal world for as long as books have been written.
Wow.
I am, as a player, extremely intrigued at your cloak as an item, and I'm
It's sick.
super excited to see how it works out mechanically.
Me too.
Anybody else want to do anything before maybe a little shopping?
As Ebenezer starts walking that way, is there anything like magical looking, like plants, or like is there any sort of cool, exuberant looking, unique? Oh no, we're in a room, aren't we? Like a specific.
You
room.
are, but as far as if you sense anything magical, here in the confluence, it feels like on a warm day after it rains and it's just super humid and muggy, it almost feels like a tangible amount of magic everywhere weighing down on you.
That's kind of hardcore.
Yeah.
Eb, do you have your is it a weasel named Lizard or a lizard named Weasel?
Yes. You fell into my
asking you
trap.
as a player. I'm asking as a player.
Oh.
ask him as a
Wait,
character.
in game?
No. Because I want to know how it looks. Because I'm
It's a
imagining-
weasel.
Yes, but like how is it following you at your side by your
No.
feet? Is it
It's
currently a scarf? Like what
it's
is
on
it?
my shoulder. It's on my
Okay.
shoulder.
There we go.
I like to think about Momo being in Aang's like outfit at any given moment, kind of like that.
That makes sense.
Well,
Sorry.
you haven't spent much time mingling, I suppose, but if you decide you're well acquainted enough, we can go get you those materials.
Well, I suppose that I don't know everyone's name, and I will individually greet everyone in this room.
Will you come back to Ebenezer?
And
Yes.
Morgan, you want to head that way?
I've already started walking when you say that.
when you go to introduce yourself to Vesper as you do, he would extremely awkwardly like not shake your hand like without registering it and just be like, "Hello, I am Vesper. If you do have rabies, I'm currently judging your soul, and maybe we can work on that together."
I appreciate your honesty, friend.
And that's
I'm
it.
gonna
That
walk
like
away.
completely blank face.
Oh yeah, I'll walk away. That's the end of the interaction.
How would the interaction with Kaelinor and Maeve go? I'm curious to hear this.
What? How tall are you guys?
I'm like 6'7".
I'm like 5'8", 5'9".
Well,
I apologize. Oh,
I won't
go ahead.
discriminate to who I shake hands with first, but it will affect my hand placement and height.
Oh, good.
Go to Maeve
Kaelinor's-
first.
I will go to Maeve. Hello, I am Kinfath.
I'll like hesitate a bit and go, I'm Maeve.
Pleasure to meet you. I look
Yeah.
forward to us working together. I assume that you here also have skills of which are not truly available to the eye. As some others, maybe perhaps conjuration magic.
Maybe. And then I'll just like back up a little.
Pleasure to meet you. I'll walk over to Kaelinor. Hello.
For
Not what I
the
would-
rabies fear.
Not what I would consider a handshake, and that's also not how rabies is transferred, but I understand how rumors spread.
I didn't
as
say
well.
that out loud, but
No, it's okay.
He says it
I'm taking
anyway.
it as an inference from everyone.
that's fair.
I appreciate that all of you are patient with me. I am just not the quickest at working on things occasionally, and so please bear with me, and thank you, and it's nice to meet you all. And then he'll start walking.
The queens say, well, Morgan and Ren know the way, but I will send our ambassador with you. Leaf, could you please? And the man that you all met earlier, you finally get to hear his name. He comes out and he doesn't have the lantern with him anymore. As you see, it's actually strapped to Queen Amethyst's hip. But they look to, or Leaf comes up to all of you and says, yeah, I'll lead the way for all of you. I'll just let you know ahead of time. This shopkeeper is a little much, but just so you're prepared for that. But yeah, come along. Boys, to the material realm, if you wouldn't mind, I'll meet you there with the rest of them shortly. Okay, so this is a little bit of a weird experience. Everybody join hands. And he holds his hands out again.
My hands will be palm open at my sides, reaching down.
Ebenezer will grab a paw. Confidently.
I will give you a nod.
Confidently. And leave a hand open for
Is
someone else.
Vesper
if need
holding
be.
his own hand? That is...
No, Vesper, it's like a circle. We gotta with somebody else, if you wouldn't mind. No, well, that's a okay. And then also on somebody else to the other side. Who do you, I assume Kaelinor was the first one you went to. Who's on the other side?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I guess we'll say Maeve would be over there. And you all sort of form this circle. He says, okay, so, getting around here in the Feywilds is a little weird. You gotta come from a court to the confluence, and then from the confluence to another court, but to get there, it's sort of a matter of willpower. So everybody just think about trashy parties. Okay, just real
I've
trashy.
had a few of those days in my days. Oh, those were good times.
Morgan's already gone.
Are we going to a party?
Yeah, I imagine you two are like out of there. And now I want everybody to please make me a group Arcana check, and we're gonna do a DC 11.
No, Zach, we're already there, so it doesn't matter.
I nat one.
Okay,
Oh!
but so far
That's
the
how you
average is
know
looking
I'm
good.
being honest.
So far the average isn't looking
Big
The
Wizzy,
average is
nat
good.
ones.
You're welcome, everyone. You're
We
welcome.
got 3 successes, 2 failures. Yeah, 5 there. So it does work. You feel this strange. It's a feeling you all just sort of had actually as you were teleported through the lantern, as if your very essence is being sucked through another plane, and you appear in what would look to you to be like Earth. It's this small town with a one notable building, and is a giant casino, like a bunch of small shops, and then one giant ass casino.
I'm picturing the scene in the Percy Jackson movie where they go to the Lotus Casino thing.
I forgot about the Percy Jackson movie. I need to watch the series. I thought it was pretty good. So Leaf is like, hey, great job. That usually doesn't happen the first time, so that's fantastic. So yeah, we'll go on in and yeah, let's just do it. Better, let's just rip the band-aid off. And he starts walking towards the casino.
Eyebrow raised. Follows.
What is this place? I will say out loud.
He calls back over his shoulder. It's the Court of the Material. Recent edition, you might say. It's about 30 to 40 years your time, but as far as they're concerned, it's like yesterday.
They sound efficient. Then I'll start walking.
Ren and Morgan, you sort of have this time ahead of everybody as you get there. Do you have any sort of conversations between one another about this task you've been given, or are you both just kind of head on a focus and going for it?
Do we exchange war stories, or do we just, or no?
I
And you're-
imagine. I think in my mind we'd be complaining about the task.
Okay, we can do that. Okay with that. I am totally okay with it.
Or we can exchange war stories. I don't mind.
Well, I just mean like beforehand, before we did all this.
I mean, mine aren't exactly war stories.
Okay, well,
They're a little less known.
we'll just
So-
complain. Let's complain.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, as you complain back and forth in exchange, you're like, I can't believe they're making us go to the mortal realm of all places.
Again.
You get up to the front door and you sort of, as you're trained to do, wait for the rest of your team before proceeding. And they do show up shortly behind you. And Leaf looks to both of you and says, I'm real sorry about this. And he pushes the door open. Inside, there is just noise everywhere, coins are clanging against the table, people playing cards everywhere. This is what you would imagine a casino to be like if they did not have electricity. So they're doing like all the dice games and all the card games and just betting on everything and rowdiness and drinking everywhere. But you see sort of the matron of the court come walking through. You see she's a sort of tan-skinned woman with dark hair and dark brown eyes, and she looks to be mortal. But she does have she's not nearly as tall as these other folks. She seems to have had her size enhanced, but she's only like 10 feet tall, maybe. She comes down and you see her pass a few people and go, buddy, darling, come on, you can do better than that. You can do better. Come on, here, I have few tokens on me, all right? Don't tell anybody I did that. All right, okay. And she comes up to the group of you. Oh, some newcomers. You're from Terra, are you not?
I'd give
not-
a half bow, like a kind of just a formal Queen Darla.
Ah, Darla. How's my favorite girl doing?
I'm doing just fine, sweetie. It's good to see you again. The rest of your use I don't recognize though.
I will step
My
up.
name is Queen Darla Caroni. Good to meet you all.
I am Kin Fat. Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you, Dor. And you are? And she reaches out to Maeve.
I'm Maeve.
Shy one, ain't you? Okay, that's fine. We can work with that. And the two of you.
Okay, Eleanor. Does not extend a
Who are you talking
Uh,
to?
You're the only group of people that I'm making in my mind. So you, Eleanor and Vesper. Hey, fair enough. I'm not a formal person. We don't gotta be formal. Welcome to my casino. If you're sent here with Leaf of all folks, and probably these two spooky fellas, well, you're probably looking for some supplies. So follow me. We'll go get you the stuff that you need. And she walks past a large set of stairs into sort of a back room where she's just got boxes upon boxes of material world stuff. So what's it that you're after? You need ammunition, ammo, arrows, things like that. You need a new little sword, a dagger, some potions, perhaps?
Were we given an idea of what to come here for? Or maybe
They just said
were-
anything you might need for your adventure.
Okay.
What potions do you have?
What might I
just
need?
some basic healing. Not many people get hurt around here, so we don't have a ton of them. But I can offer you a few to the group of you. You got a big old bow strapped to your back there. You need some arrows.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I got like 30 of them in a box if you want them.
29 should be fine.
That is a strange thing to say, young man, but I appreciate you.
Oh, did I say something
she-
wrong? Did I say something wrong?
She reaches up and grabs a box off the shelf. She pulls one arrow off and leaves it on the shelf, and then just hands you the box. I'm sure you'll figure out a way to put all that. And anybody, you said you want some healing potions. I got 3 to spare. So, Bugbear, you can have them all if you want them. You just hold on to them, distribute them as you want. That's fine with me.
I must. How much does it cost, friend?
Oh, if you're sent here by the other queens, I do not want to do them wrong. So you can just take this stuff. This is fine. However, I do want to offer you this. And she turns around and she grabs a small ring from a stack of rings that all look exactly the same. This, if you want it anyway, will open up a little, about a 4-foot window between me and wherever you are, and I can sell you stuff whenever you need it. This one's free, of course, but in the future I do run a business, so you gotta make money where you can, if you understand me.
I'll take it.
Very well, Bugbear. Again, I like the boldness on this one.
What
Cute
sort of
boy.
magic? What sort of magic is that?
I did.
Hopefully
That's
not
a great
conjuration.
question.
I'm gonna do that much for you.
Not conjuration, but I appreciate you. Anybody else need anything in particular?
I would like to be fucking with this ring as much as I can until I accidentally turn it on.
It's like watching the game Portal, where like right in front of you is her, but then she is also standing behind it. So it's just like pointing a camera at the jumbotron. And it's just going forever.
I'm gonna start to frantically try and turn it off at this point now.
She sees you panicking and waves her hand, and it goes away.
This is a
It-
powerful weapon.
Well, I want to say it's a weapon, but you can do with whatever you want, I suppose. Looks like so we got a wizard here. You need anything in particular? Oh, 2 wizards. Look at that. A couple of robed up boys.
Everything I need is back at home. Really, I think.
Very well.
I would gladly take a health potion. Do you by chance have a lockpicking kit?
A lockpicking kits we got though. She reaches into a box and she pulls out 3 of them.
I will take at least one, and I'll take a second one if nobody else wants one.
I would happily hold on to that if you gave it to me, but I wouldn't ask.
I do not need it.
I'm going to take all 3, and I'm going to give one to Vesper, one in my pocket. I'm going to put one in the book I pulled in my cloak, and put it back in my cloak.
Fantastic. Yes, a young man.
I wouldn't ask in character, but do I see swords?
You do see swords.
You know what I'm talking about.
They are I don't think they're exactly the ones that you would be looking for here. Out of character anyway. What I know you're looking for. But just some basic long swords, a couple of daggers. Nothing that you probably wouldn't already have if you're not using them. No +1s or anything, just normal stuff.
I would be interested in in something of that nature for sure, as something.
You want a sword then?
And I point at I mean I guess it's a long sword if that's what they have. I'll just
Yeah. All right, hey, that's one of the pricier things. Takes a lot of tickets if you know what I'm saying. But for this time it's free. Next time you gotta pay me though. All right.
Do I need to gamble?
Well, you're welcome to gamble all you want, but you don't have to.
Oh, okay. I'm terrible at. Well, I've never tried. Thank you.
Well, you never know till you try. It's first time for everything, doll. She hands you 2 chips and says, "This one's on me. Go ahead and give it a try. I'm sure you'll love it."
I immediately go gamble. Not understanding what it is. Like Vesper doesn't have.
Rollies.
He's like he just walks up to an active game and just chip on the table.
Roulette.
We're gonna roll sleight of hand against the dealer's sleight of hand here.
Okay.
Does anybody know how to add a lockpicking kit to your inventory?
He nat 20, so what do you get?
Dirty 21, but it's a nat, so
He has a +5.
yeah.
So you play one round of essentially like modern day craps, a bunch of dice being rolled, and they hand them to you real quick, and you don't really know, but you just kind of copy what everybody else is doing. It goes by so quick you can't possibly understand. He's like, "Okay, went over here. There you go," and he just hands one of your tokens over to the other guy. You want to go again, son? Fantastic. Go ahead and roll again here for me.
Oh my god.
13.
Dirty 20.
20.
With a I need to turn my ship back on. There we go. It goes around again, and he's like, "Wow, went over here, but beginner's luck, we like it. All right, we like it." And he hands you 8 tokens.
I turn around to the group holding way more tokens than I came over here with.
Conjuration magic.
And I walk back to the counter and grab my sword.
Fantastic. She hands it over to you. Like, it's a real fun game. You might like it as you learn it. Maybe come back sometime. All right. Anything else I can do for you, Zol? Yes, Maeve. She wouldn't know your name, but oh no, you introduced yourself, right?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Do you have any armor or anything that prevents wolf bites maybe?
Well, nothing particular for wolves, but we do. We got some real light sort of leather stuff. We don't collect a lot of armor because people don't fight in here. If they fight, they get banished. And We don't like to deal with that. But boy, I mean, you can try it if you'd like, but I'd rather not go down that road. We've got some real light leather if you'd like it.
Okay, that works. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, and she goes down sort of beneath the counter and pulls out just a normal like light armor leather, and hands it to you, and says, "I hope it serves you well. Now, if there is nothing else, I do need to get back to the business. Oh yeah, Ren.
Queen Darla, are there any more of those bags? The magical ones?
The DM doesn't know what you're talking about right now.
Bags,
Say it again.
bags of holding.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, sweetie, we stopped handing those out here at the casino. They caused a little bit of trouble when one guy threw it at another guy when his was open and it went inside, and the whole, literally, believe it or not, it was a lot of cleanup. So we don't mess with those things anymore, unfortunately.
I'd always heard about that. I was curious how that worked.
Yeah, it's oh yeah. Don't try it at home. I'll tell you that.
Vesper very cautiously inspects his own bag that he knows holds things, and he's like,
All right, Dawes, it was good to meet you. Morgan, you didn't get anything. Did you want anything?
Do you have anything? I know
You
I
cut
placed
out
an
the-
order. Do you have anything for me? I know I placed an order about a week ago.
Do you? Well, I don't know if the stuff you're looking for is like I should give it to you in public. If that's what you mean, you and the Hulk, you get to do your thing on your own time. But
No.
oh, you mean oh no, that hasn't arrived just yet. But sorry, I shouldn't have probably revealed that even much.
No, there's nothing going on.
Oh,
I don't know.
there's nothing
know
going on?
where-
You say?
Nothing.
You
I don't know.
dog.
All right.
"Insight check."
Is this
That's
magic
what I was
again?
saying.
This is not a deception check. This is me being truthful.
Okay. Let's see
Hmm.
here.
I don't know what to
Uh,
roll for a truth.
Well, you don't
can do
reveal it.
persuasion if you want, but if it's just against the truth, I'm going to tell. We can describe to them what they gather. What was it, Evan? There.
17 insight.
Yeah, with a 14 and a 17, you don't know this guy entirely well, but he's entirely straight faced to the point where, unless this guy has a master poker face, he's probably telling the truth.
Are there any other potions or anything? Like I don't know
Mystery
almost what to ask
potions?
for.
Or scrolls.
Basically magical items.
or Doritos.
With sort of material stuff, I'm not really a magical person myself, but, we if I find anything along the way, and I certainly find things rather often, I'll hold on to them for you. We'll see.
Dope.
And Morgan, you sure there's nothing going on with the Hogan? You?
I just kind of cock my head and shake it.
All right. Well, if that's the case, you're busy Friday.
We'll see.
All right, you dog, you. All right, that's fair enough, fair enough. I'm gonna go back to business, and I will potentially see you all soon. Keep that ring close to you. And she walks out the door.
I'm gonna be purposely holding it pretty far away from my body.
Leaf looks about to all of you and says, "Okay, well, that was a lot. Cheese, a lot. Sorry to those of you who are not so forward as I am myself. Similarly to you. Well, let's head on back to the Queens, and they'll send us on our way. Yeah.
Yes.
Disappear immediately.
Yeah, I imagine both of you two just gone. You know the way about here. But he holds his hands out to all of you again. Okay, this one's it's weird. Actually, I'm sorry. I guess I got the old accent. It's weirder than even the first one. Instead of a trashy house party, think about all of the things in life that has ever brought you joy all at once.
Easy. I'll put my hands out.
I'll once again grab the bugbear's palm.
And I will need a group Arcana check from everybody if we're all ready.
I got a 9 that time. No, sorry. That's 6 plus 5 is 11.
I got a 6.
Oh god.
What was the DC on this one?
It's an 11.
I got a
Beautiful.
23.
23, 17, 14. Yeah, definitely pass. You find yourself back in the confluence, specifically within this sort of meeting room that you were in before. The queens look down at all of you. Dahlia calls out to Ren. My knight, could you approach, please?
I'd approach.
She bends down, way down, being like a 40-foot tall woman, to you. And she actually sort of scoops you in with her hand a little bit so she can, like, just say to you what she's saying. I'm entrusting you, my boy, with my lantern. You'll need this to get into the mortal realm and back. Do not lose it.
With my life.
As I would expect nothing less. And she pulls the lantern off of her hip, and as it kind of comes off of her hip, you see it shrinks in size until it would be a fitting size for you to hold.
I'd like fasten it to my hip, maybe?
Sure?
Is that
Hip
Yeah,
would
that's
be-
where people would keep a lantern.
sure?
As she sort of like releases you out, she stands back up and addresses the whole room. Any last questions before we send you along your way?
We are going home, right?
Well, we were going to drop you outside of Zixiv, but if you need to make a pit stop,
I would very much like that.
very well. Where would you like to be sent?
Back to where we came from, my shop, preferably. I don't know if these fellows need to come along.
Well, you are leaving with only one lantern, so you must all go to one spot. But if you all agree to go to Ashmere City, I see no problem with that.
I'm sorry to complicate things, friends. I just have some things I need to take care of.
Ashmere is
hardly my
not that
concern.
long of a walk.
Is that where the school is?
Bogseth is separate on the map. Ashmere is off to the right, but it is the capital city and not far from Zixiv.
Okay.
I know.
Vesper would know that. I don't yet.
If we can fast travel, it shouldn't take that long.
Well,
Have
this
we
can
more-
get you in
have we
and
more-
out, but I
We
must
more or less
also.
been dismissed by the queens.
Oh yeah, the queen is saying one last thing here. Then you are dismissed, but she does say that is good for once there, once back, and that again. You have 4 total trips. Use them wisely, and then it must be recharged. So please do finish here, Ren, if you would.
Remind me how I would totally know that it's recharged.
It would be glowing. It would
Just-
lose its light when it's
Just
out.
being in the Feywilds is enough
Yeah.
to charge it.
Well, it would need to go back to the queen.
Wireless
Okay.
charging.
It's like a touch charger, you know?
Yeah. Green Lantern's might or whatever.
Or whatever.
I don't know the phrase. Yeah, but then you are dismissed by the queens.
I do not mind if we go to Ashmere.
Does Queen Amethyst give me any kind of a side eye or anything?
Roll insight for me.
Where is my insight? There it is. I rolled a 12.
With a 12, Queen Amethyst has always been very rigid, hard to read, but you do see that she does offer a sort of passing glance at you when she doesn't think that you're looking at her, and then moves back to her conversation with Queen Dahlia.
I throw an eyebrow up, just, and then turn around.
So that's one vote for Ashmere. Anybody else?
We have limited trips. Would we be okay with following to Ashmere and then moving ourselves by foot or otherwise?
I don't. The
With two lives.
distance between the two places are not great.
What would be the walking time between Ashmere City and Lithu?
Walking about a day and a half, horses less than a day.
I find that to be absolutely ridiculous. I say that, Carrie.
Hmm.
Whatever business of your own is not the matter of. We have limited
Then,
choices and potentially limited time.
What business do you have at your home?
well, I have a few things that I need to pick up.
Like
I have a
what?
few things to just some potions. One in particular. I have
if
people I
it's-
needed to talk to.
If it's any help with that one in particular, I would imagine like Ebenezer certainly would have brought that with him, no matter what.
He wouldn't have.
You really don't think he would have it on him?
No.
Very interesting. Well, that's up to you. Have to convince everybody here then.
I feel like the DM just gave us a freebie and you said, nah, dog.
Sounds
I don't
about
even
right.
know what we're talking about, but I have that feeling.
To be quite frank, too, I have a family that I would like to talk with about this and to tell them what I'm doing exactly. I have a whole shop that I run.
To be
I need to.
Sorry.
I need to set some affairs there.
To be frank, you accepted an invitation into another realm, leaving those things behind, and that is consequence.
I was told by Leaf that we could be right back. Leaf?
Well, we could be.
Leaf is no longer with the group.
Oh.
Leaf has left the Jed.
So what does this potion do precisely?
It was given to me by my wife in passing.
I find the answer lacking.
I don't really know what it does.
You're not doing
So-
a good job of convincing us.
So we're
I think
going
that's a pretty
initiative.
solid no then. It doesn't seem worth it, so.
What was the other city name? The one that we were meant to go to?
Zixiv.
Zixiv?
Zixiv? Is that?
Yeah. It's on the map.
It's right above Ashmere.
It's right between the.
That's not how I would have tried to pronounce that, but
To Zixiv we go. You can write a letter to your family.
or see them when we're done.
Sure. There's no other option.
No.
Given us no
Amethyst,
reason-
Dahlia.
They look to you and say, "This is not for us to decide. You must decide amongst yourselves, and it sounds like you've come to an unfortunate for you majority
Alright.
decision."
All right, I get it.
I love you, Riley. I'm trying
I
to play
get
this
it.
in character.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not like.
No,
this,
no, it's okay.
This is what the character would do. I'm
This
sorry.
is fine. This is fine. Well, if all of you see that to be the decision, and Ebenezer will kind of like shrink a little bit, and get nervous. But
Noted.
Do I say this? Can I say this?
I don't
Can you
think he's trying to hide it. I bet. Yeah, you could probably. All talk
yeah,
about
I'm very visibly a little shaken.
I will gently, not so gently, reach down and pat you on the back once and say, Ebenezer, you old fool. Not everyone agreed.
Obviously, yes.
I would like to chime in, notice, pull back a little bit, and say that I have no intention of forcibly keeping you from your family, but some things have time as a factor. I apologize.
So it seems. So it seems.
Does Maeve have any input in this conversation?
Not right now. She's probably
We
just
are-
like really anxiously like looking back and forth.
We are a broody, quiet bunch. This campaign is
Oh.
going to be ridiculous conversations between Kinfek. Am I saying that correctly?
Kinfeth.
Kinfeth and Ebenezer.
I love it.
Who's got the highest charisma score?
Between the
I'm gonna
two of
guess
us,
the lock.
Probably.
definitely not me.
I would probably say directly to Ebenezer, look, we're chasing the trail of someone that we're chasing the trail of someone that we're chasing. Good charisma score there. We have a limited window and knowledge that is fleeting. Let's go to Zixif first. And if given the opportunity, we can hit. I need to pull the map up. I'm sorry.
Ashmir.
Potions and
Yeah,
lotions.
I know. I didn't have it open because I was looking at some other
Just
stuff.
get a screenshot of that and drop it into your notes.
It's map and info, right?
Mhm.
I
I
assume.
did.
I
Oh.
think I bagged it.
I
That's
want
a
to blow this up.
wonderful idea.
Not boom, but like
Yeah,
bigger.
it's pinned. On
Okay. I just pulled it open on a tab. It's a little easier to see. Quite
sorry,
frankly,
finish
we
it.
can hit Zixif first, and then, provided the opportunity, get over to Ashmere for your mysterious potion.
Yeah, we'll get there. It'll work out.
By the way, you're terrible at explaining things.
Well, you know,
You did absolutely nothing to convince anyone.
I was pretty
don't-
thoroughly
I
convinced
I just
personally.
want to make that
that
brutally
means quite
clear.
little.
I don't get out much. So
It's okay, Ebenezer. Everyone here gave me awkward looks because they thought I had rabies. I understand your pain.
Can I insight or medicine check this? It's
Yeah.
now being brought up enough that I'm wondering.
Do
You
it
go ahead
again.
and medicine check, Constitution save on the other side again.
Like, I have a +0 to this. It's completely natural, but I'm just like, I'm skeptical. It is
Oh, you
being
just
brought
nat
up enough
20'd?
at this point
He
that
is.
it's like subliminal.
You have no idea.
Yeah, okay.
Give
Wow.
him-
Just net 20 that shit.
So
let that be a
Vesper
lesson.
is proficient in medicine, but would absolutely believe him.
Hmm.
Just be like, wow, he keeps talking about that. He must be dealing with a lot.
With no double jeopardy, I'm rolling that once an episode until I find out.
I love it. It'll happen.
Fantastic. So, going to the mortal realm is not something that either Morgan or Ren have done in at least a very long time. So it's not entirely a familiar thing. But you do know how it is supposed to work. You would essentially imagine your location on Earth and let go of magic within you and try to get down there. So we would want a group Arcana check, DC 10 or lower.
Do you want to roll low?
You want to roll low.
God damn it! I nat one earlier.
Is Zixif familiar to anybody in the group?
No.
I
I'm
don't
asking
believe
that
so. I mean, I know
character.
of it, just like general knowledge.
I'd probably word it differently, but that'd be the idea. I'm asking.
Ah, fuck me.
10 or
Just
lower. is
dirty
brutal.
20'd.
Ha! 8 with a +5. I got an 8. Thank God.
I dirty 20'd.
Yeesh.
So it doesn't work the first time. You see the lantern just sort of rock back and forth a little bit in Ren's hand, and I'd like you all to try again until we get it.
Could
I
somebody
proclaim-
describe Zixif to me, please?
Never
Like,
been.
if anybody knows.
Has anybody in character think they would have been to Zixif?
Anybody have a
Notably,
map?
you
Probably?
didn't tell me about it.
I am. You told me about it in passing, and it is near the city that I was born.
Describe to me what you know about it.
What do I know about it?
What he knows about it is that it is a ghost town. Very few people actually still live there anymore.
50,000 people used
but-
to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
But some people still travel in and out of passing. There are some rather unfortunate people who still live there. Not very wealthy, clearly, with everything being so run down. But most people just kind of tend to avoid it. The king, once everybody sort of left, decided it wasn't really worth renovating.
I
Is
say
he
that
able-
in a. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I say that in a wizardly fashion.
Like a dick.
Wizardly.
Is he able, mystical DM, to describe the physical locale at all? Like what the city looks like?
Architecture.
I would imagine Kaelor probably hasn't actually visited. I don't see why
Read
he
anything?
would, as an astute. I mean, he would have read that history.
Sure. Does
That was
Does
given.
the knowledge that I gleaned from the description give the group any kind of advantage in like targeting this location with the lantern? I don't know how this works.
Should be disadvantage.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, everybody roll Arcana with disadvantage for me.
What a ridiculous set of circumstances this is. God damn it.
15 with disadvantage.
Yeah.
I rolled a 7.
I got double 15s. Holy shit.
What is this?
Let's see.
The first
We're
time we
dying
all rolled
first
well
combat.
with advantage.
We are dead first
Oh,
combat.
that- we can't
TPK.
get anything.
Why
Yeah.
are we rolling well?
Fuck.
So wait, let's see. There's plus 6. One. What was yours, Kaelin? Or you rolled on here?
Yeah, for the group rolls, I feel like it makes more sense to have them place them.
Well, it looks like I mean, it's a tie. So I'm gonna just roll this luck check on the table.
Thank you.
We'll see if it works.
Table roll. Table roll. If it fails, I'm gonna scream at the queen.
I'm just gonna roll it on Ebenezer, but it's gonna be flat D20, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a 6. It works.
Yay!
Huzzah!
The lantern flashes, and you all find yourself standing on sort of the outskirts of a desolate town. You see buildings that are like have some walls that completely knocked down, windows having been shattered. The wind sort of rustles through the buildings, so it whistles on its way through. It's like the land around here almost looks gray because the dirt has dried up so much. But you are able to see that there is a light on in a building near the end of the road.
There's a light on in that building at the end of this road.
Stay on guard. Allied with our target or not, nothing residing here is likely.
Oh, puppy.
Is
Weasel.
there anywhere in sight that's kind of out of sight, like anything that looks like could be briefly hidden in? I'm thinking like Superman telephone booth.
Yeah, I mean, you could hop behind any sort of corner. There's very few people here. Like you see maybe a couple of homeless folk living, like squatting in a rundown shack. You see a couple of folks like trying to, you might see like a peddler running up to you, seeing visitors trying to sell you something quickly, but rather quickly being brushed away.
What are they selling?
But he'd be selling shiny rocks.
Oh,
I would buy one.
I would like.
You want to buy a shiny rock from the peddler?
Yes, I would buy a shiny rock.
Shiny rock for you, sir. It's just a couple of copper pieces, just 2, if you'd like. It's real nice, real shiny. Spend it all day on it.
in fact, you understand that's a rock.
It's a shiny rock, Ren, and I will exchange coin for goods.
Fantastic. He hands you the rock. Oh, my family's gonna eat well, sir, tonight. Oh, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mister. What was your name, sir? I didn't catch it.
Kinfath.
Kinfath, sir. You're a kind soul. I do appreciate you. You all having a lovely day. And he
Yes,
sort of
Mr.
scampers off.
Regardless of the quality of the material that we gain from those in need, the effect that we can have moving forward, as long as it's positive, is the end goal.
That was a fiscally negative interaction.
For us, yes, but that boy and his family will have the opportunity to eat in perhaps who knows how long, and that is a service that I'm willing to give.
I understand.
So-
And
Two
disagree.
things real
Mm.
One, watching Kinpath do that has increased my belief that he has rabies because of just the willingness to just accept that into his personal space. It's just kind of like, also, I would like to cast Mage Armor. Will snap.
Yeah, fantastic. But yeah,
The lizard is
you do
gonna,
have,
if I may, real quick.
yeah.
The lizard is going to kind of frantically hop around Ebenezer's body to take in the environment.
Whoa.
I love that.
And
You
that
do-
is just
you get a
some
great lay of the
flavor.
land.
That is just some flavor there.
Is it nighttime right now?
Yeah, it would
Good
be
question.
nighttime.
Okay.
Ren would have his right hand kind of placed at his hip, almost like, well, not almost like, I would say readying an action to draw a weapon.
Okay. Running it under what circumstances?
Um,
What would you like the trigger to be?
that's a fair question. Combat? No, anything that might surprise me, I guess, if I'm caught off guard, would conjure it. I don't know that that would trigger an attack.
Great way to like accidentally kill a kid.
Exactly why I said not attack, just conjure.
Fantastic. Yeah, there are plenty of places to hide if you'd like to do that. If you have anything you'd like to do there, to answer your earlier question.
Sure. To keep it brief, I would like step away and I would probably use a disguise kit. Not really to do a whole lot of like major overhaul, just kind of probably some kind of makeup to blot my gray skin, to look as human as possible. Not really doing anything to the white hair, but just the skin color.
Okay, word. That makes sense. With that said, you see the one building with a light on at the end, and seems to be the only place of note in the town.
Well, everyone, I think that we start moving towards the end of the street, that is.
I'll approach.
Sure.
Ebenezer will follow Kinrath.
Are people
notably
drawing
behind him.
weapons? Is that
Kinfath.
Kinfath.
What was
would-
the question from Vesper there?
are people drawing weapons? This is me.
I'm not.
I think I would have my sword hilt in my hand and kind of spinning the loop that it connects to the belt with on my finger. Kind of like, like a drummer spinning a drumstick in his hand, but not like in a form of aggression. Good thing to do with my hands.
Okay. I just wanted to catch a vibe from the players. Then yeah, we can go.
Word.
Wait, is it dark?
Yes.
Yeah, it's rather dark.
I'm gonna close my eyes and cast light on my eyes, and then when I open them again, whoom.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Fucking glasses.
So you make your way to this building, and you can hear, even as you approach the outside of it, a sort of song-like chant emanating from underneath you, it sounds like. But it echoes through this old building. When you go through the front door, you don't see any immediate major chanting people here, but you do see a young half-elf man lounging in a corner of the room, just sort of laid back one of these, reading a book, and when you walk in, he closes it and looks up to you. Hey, you're here for Luther, yeah?
Yes.
Mortar gives a glare.
Well, great. I mean, you can try it. I'll be honest, kind of pointless. I mean, I've told you all a lot of times before, but yeah, there's no way you would know that. So, I mean, do what you gotta do. If it works, it works. Great. There's something a little different about you all this time. It's like a sentient outside deities looking down on all of you, guiding your every path. That part's new.
Speak plainly. Seen this before?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, and you've seen me, but you don't know you've seen me, at least not yet, but you will. You got some work to do, though. I'll catch you guys soon. Let me know how it goes. And he snaps his fingers, and anyone who's familiar with Fortnite, the rift, when you go through it, how it kind of opens up a little crack, he, like, that sort of effect happens in the space before you, and he vanishes out.
Does anyone know who that was?
Do
Yes.
I have?
Do I have?
None of you would recognize him.
Oh, never mind.
That was weird. We must have a stalker.
Well, it seems we've done this before. Let's go get this over with.
I'll keep an eye out, everyone.
Fantastic. And you all continue into the building further then?
I guess so.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And with that, I need you to do the most unpredictable shit.
Fireball!
You go through the doors of what would be like this sort of smoking room or parlor at the front of this building, and then you go into a room with two descending staircases on either side. It's stone and dank, and you feel like you can hear like dripping. There must be like water somewhere in the distance leaking. Real not cool vibes, if I'm being honest. Vibes are off. Yeah.
Can I cast Detect Magic as a ritual?
Yeah, by all means. So, what does that spell say that you get from that?
I sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. If I sense magic in this way, I can use my action to see an aura around. And learn at school.
You certainly detect magic. There's no particular school to it, but you recognize its primal essence. You detect two different types. One being one you're very familiar with the inner feeling of what it means to do magic and what beauty is, as someone who has studied it before. But the other is entirely different. It does, however, feel very similar to what that boy just did in the front room.
Interesting.
You also sense my weasel.
Yeah, I would be
I
aware
mean,
of that.
everybody is magic, yeah, but
You're casting this as a ritual. Does it look like anything in particular?
I don't know. I hadn't thought.
Because I always imagined ritual spells being a little more ritualistic than
Mhm.
just like a cast.
Oh, maybe just
You can think on it.
bending down to the ground, going on one knee, and just like physically putting my hand on. Feel magical energy.
Plain, simple, and dope.
Are the
question
stairs?
for Ryan out of character real quick. If I add Olrog in here, will that fuck everything up?
Yes.
Okay, we'll work on that next time, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Am I able to could, like, if I close my camera?
No, because
Just
it will
for
take the
potential
two
growth?
squares at the bottom and shift them over for a ninth one. We'll figure
All
that
is well.
out.
We don't necessarily need it.
Before it wasn't a
Um,
problem because there were only 6 of us and somehow the layout worked.
We could open roll 20 and just close it.
You could run music through a battle.
Through a what?
The battle map?
On roll 20.
A battle
Oh,
map. any
this is
battle.
true. Yeah, it'll just be Parker's old one that you're all in. If you want to open it up, I can run something through there.
Sure, let's get it. I have 2 logistical questions while we're in a thing. If that's okay.
Sure.
Could I have gotten a short sword instead?
I suppose that's fine.
Fucking bet. Also, are these staircases going down?
They are.
Okay, cool. I want to do something when we get back.
Cool. I'll just start this. I don't even know if this will be the right mood. We're gonna find out.
Is it Lands Beyond?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would also like to place hold behind Ryan.
Can everybody hear the music that's in here? Oh, Ivy, are you in this?
No.
Oh,
I
crap.
was very confused.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's important. Let me get that taken care of.
As for when you described the dank, gross ass room, I turn to Ren and I go, "This makes it look like trickery is a vacation home."
Ivy, you'll want to click on that. It might have you make an account real quick. We can hold on for a bit.
You definitely have an account.
Yeah.
We used it for mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, word. Okay, perfect.
Let's see.
Do you
Oh, I
guys see
didn't-
Lizard IRL on Riley right now?
When did you use this music in campaign 1? I know it was. It was in one of the deity scenes, I think. Or was it in the death scene?
This particular one actually was used when Yongtar first met Soul in the Obsidian Altar.
Ah.
Really?
Like session 1 of the last campaign.
Mhm.
Wow.
Let's go.
I
Full
remember
circle.
the sound. I don't remember what it was for. But I got the deity
Our
part
impending
right.
doom.
Oh, I see. It says it's Obsidian Altar. Ah. Yeah.
Does it really? Because I feel
It's
less cool.
looped. Mine
It does indeed.
I mean, you still like fucking perception check that.
Ivy, what are you seeing right now? In as little detail as possible, just in case you're being spoiled for something.
Oh, probably. Let me go back. Okay, now I'm not seeing anything. Now I'm just outside of it. I haven't pressed launch.
Okay, no, you should press launch.
Okay. I'm
Message me
launched.
what you see. Send me a description of what you see, because I'm not seeing your token to move.
Oh,
I think
I'm
I see it.
just.
Well, I see she pops up there, but then I don't see where.
Do you see a rounded square room with a circular light in the middle?
One moment. Yes. No. I can't see because all you guys are in the way. I gotta move you. Hold on.
see the pings.
I'm gonna
One.
move people around just so I can be sure I can find all the tokens. You're just gonna go to something else.
My thing's reloading. Oh god.
I
Oh.
can't see. Oh,
Oh, now we're in the arena.
the dirt pile.
I don't see. Hold on, maybe I need
King
to.
Yongtar.
Oh, hey.
Who's making shapes?
Probably Riley.
I might.
It's not me.
Looks like
it's-
Zach.
And I'm in the same
It's
place.
Zach.
Do you see a bunch of teal rectangles?
It's yellow, but yeah.
What?
Interesting.
What do you mean?
Wait.
Somebody.
Fucking, this is not worth it. All right. Well, if you have the music, great. Anyway, does anybody hear it right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it
Yes.
just I think.
Great.
ended.
I don't, but that's fine. You get to these stairs that descend down. Vesper, you said you wanted to do something.
Yeah, it's dark down there.
Yeah, quite dark.
I have.
You can see the glow of like candlelight coming like onto the rocks around, but otherwise there's no sunshine or anything like that down
Oh,
here.
okay. It's not completely dark.
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna end the light that's on my eyes, so it's not giant and super bright. So
Word.
Vesper kind of looks over the edge and closes his eyes, so you see like the light that was his face kind of end, and then this little firefly-looking guy kind of just goes about 20 feet down in the middle of the stairs and poof, and it's gone. The light is gone.
Is-
It has a
Is
range of
fairy
20
fire?
feet. No, it's light.
Okay. Anyway, so do you all head down the stairs?
Then I will start heading down if nobody else stops me.
Yes. I will.
As we're going down, do we have an order? Like a general order? Like
I-
a rough order?
I would have gone first if nobody stopped me or went ahead.
I'll let him go first.
I would have
would've
not stopped.
followed.
I don't know where I would have
Ebenezer's definitely cowardingly in the back.
I would be more towards the front.
Do I get the vibe that we're sneaking behind me as I go down?
Sure.
Does you get such a vibe?
I'll
Probably
sneak.
not.
Like, is the group behind me intentionally being quiet and not talking and hugging walls, or are we just trotting down these stairs?
I'm not talking, but I am trotting down.
Okay,
Probably
as
trip on the stairs.
as I get to the bottom, I want to draw my sword and go, "Hey, Luther!"
It isn't heard by anyone over the chanting, but you do hear, now that you're down here, that you can tell this is where the chanting is coming from. It is loud. A group of probably 10 to 12 different people all chanting together, just Anasaka, Anasaka Chronastra, Anasaka Chronastra. You walk down the stairs, and when you get around, you see a horribly gruesome scene. You see entrails strung along the walls of the room that you've walked into. You see blood splatters everywhere against the wall, like a Jason Pollock painting. You see a table in the center of the room set for dining with what is clearly a roasted thigh, and it is quite large. But you come around the room, and beyond that table, you see a massive swirling object of primordial energy. You see what looks like a heart that is flowing through space and time. It feels like you can see it before you ever saw it, and that you will forever see it ever beyond this moment. You can hear the chanting in the future, and you hear it forever in the past, and it is constant around you at all times. Yes.
I have a question because you said a word that's on my character sheet. Does this chant happen to be in Primordial?
The chant is in primordial.
I know
I
that.
speak Primordial.
Same.
Okay.
What do they
yeah.
say?
So what they're saying is, send him back Chronastra.
Prenhastra.
That's my homie.
I
From a
spoke
different
primordial
continent.
once. It came in handy one time.
Well, consider this one time. Get fucked.
And then even further beyond this, this massive artifact of unspeakable power, you see a man sitting at a piano, his back to you, wearing a top hat and a long flowing cape. He is sort of playing notes along with the chant, and he's saying it under his breath to himself. But he turns around, and you see just a horribly distorted white face, like pale white with huge grin side to side, almost unnatural looking, the size of this man's mouth. And he turns around to all of you. You see blood in his teeth, and he says, welcome to the show, one and all. If you've come to stop me, my friends, I am afraid it's just a tad too late, but that you at least can see the beauty that I've strung up for you here. Is it not magnificent?
It's quite horrendous, and I don't appreciate that you made us see this.
You don't understand the genius at work here. Very well. It doesn't matter anyway, for I will be leaving this all behind. The ritual's already started. You cannot stop it now. He stands up from the piano, walks down and in front of this artifact, raising his hands either side in front of him in a position of power. The cultists, as they continue their chant, turn their attention to you. I'd like everybody here to roll initiative.
Oh,
And that is where we will end episode 1.
Oh.
Of
You're a
campaign
motherfucker.
2.
so
Let me
good.
kill something.
Oh,
So
only
good.
11:30.
Yeah, let's go. Seriously.
Dude,
The combat of this is going to take a long time.
Y-
So
You gotta respect the episodic nature of what we're doing, you know?
Yeah.
I did not very well.
I never got to draw my weapon.
Oh, but it
you
would
will
have
have plenty of chance to draw your weapon.
It would have
I
been
don't-
conjured.
I don't
I-
mind if we both have a hilted sword deck. I actually think that would be kind of cool and lead to some fun interaction.
Well, so for the record, I was actually going to say, because when we were fucking around with the music, I said that I wanted to hold a place behind Ryan. And we just continued walking down the stairs before I could continue saying what I wanted to say. And I was about to say that I wanted to actually just conjure my weapon. So
That's fine. We can.
I'll just.
I
I
did that.
straight up drew my sword and screamed at him.
I just don't want to have to use like having that foresight. I don't want to have to use an action at the start of next.
No,
combat.
everybody got their prep in. That's fine if you want to have already drawn it.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Well,
Episode 1.
fantastic. That
Woo!
is episode 1.
Good job,
Well,
folks. Wow, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, cool.
Honestly, I mean the BBEG is still alive. It's kind of been a slow campaign. if
Yeah,
I'm
we
being honest.
really we didn't get a lot done. That's on
No.
us. My bad.
It's all storytelling and
Yeah.
all that other shit.
World building.
Just let me. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Y'all are fucking mean to Ebenezer for no reason.
Okay.
I had to play with what I was given.
You
Look,
guys are playing in
In
character.
fairness,
it's great.
Ebenezer did not say anything that would have made me want to go with him.
Yeah.
well, right, exactly. So we all
other
randomly
than caring
pulled
about
from
his
our
family.
lives by Fey gods are given a task to fix the thing that is most wrong in our lives, and this dude's like, "But my family," and we're like, "No." Like, the more important things
Leaf-
are happening right now.
Leaf said that we could go back.
Well,
That's
Leaf is
a
not
lie.
in this party.
Every
Well,
time you
part of
said
that
leaf, I
decision-
was like, huh?
And you did have the option to go back, so he didn't lie to you.
My understanding of Fey creatures, Foster, is that when we're in the Fey, like time doesn't really pass.
Hmm.
Like not even. Like it's so slow, it almost doesn't pass at all. Is that
Yeah.
fair to say? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm an immortal creature with no fucking family. Do you think I care about yours?
Listen, I'm proud of you guys for sticking to your guns. I wish I could tell you what the potion did.
Well, I'm sure
but
we'll find
Ebenezer
out.
doesn't know. So, but
Alright.
it's got some meaning to it. So.
Hell yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, it's a wrap, boys. We'll see you for episode 2.